Hey guys, welcome back to Road Hard Restorations. Beautiful day here in Arizona. Neighbors' dogs are barking all over the place. Got my 68 Mustang here. It's gonna be going away. We're gonna have a special guest coming in later this week, and I wanted to get a few preliminary things done before he takes his car and drives it home. I don't know, a couple thousand miles? I don't know where he's at, where he's coming from. Anyway, let's get busy. It's a beautiful sunny day in Arizona. It's finally cooling off. Working on my 68 Ford Mustang here. Unfortunately, my dreams of making this thing into a fastback are gone. So, as this car will be at the end of the week. What I want to do is get this thing put back together, just roughly, so that way save some time when he gets here, that we're not monkeying around with just busy work. So, first thing we need to do is get these hood hinges back on here. And then I'm gonna make sure the doors open and close properly, you know, all that sort of thing. So anyway, let's get to it. All right, so I don't know if you can hear all the dogs barking and people screaming in the background. Hopefully the neighbors don't start playing their mariachi music, but hood hinges off here. We got one bolt left to put in. We got another bolt here. So I got two to start with. Get the hood roughly aligned, and then I'll just put a bolt and a big old flat washer on the other side for the top one here. Ideally, you know, you want to weld that up and put a nut in there proper, but we're making this functional here for him. So let's go ahead and get this bolt out of here. Oh, huh. Did not even see that. Third bolt and that nut is right here. All right, there's the nut. All right, that's awesome. There's a nut that goes in the hole. Sometimes you go to try to take these out and it just bolts like either rusted in there or just stuck in there for whatever reason from being in there for 50 some odd years, that you go to take it out and just tears it out. So this one, the master cylinder's in my way, so I gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Let me get a ratchet. I'll be right back. All right, I got the right bolts here. Just make quick work of this. Okay. All right, now I got lots of adjustability there. Let me get the other side on here. All right, so the neighbors are blasting their mariachi music as usual on a Sunday morning. Perfect. So hopefully that doesn't come through the camera. If it does, maybe I'll play some license-free YouTube music that can help drown it out a little bit. Oh, my dog's barking. Wife and kids just got home. Yeah, live out in the country, they say. Nice and quiet, they say. Uh-huh. Hearing this cultural music from south of the border reminds me when I was a kid. Grew up in the Central Valley of California. My dad would take me, or sometimes my sister and I, to the local flea market. Check out all their wares. I'd go thumb through the old Atari games, baseball cards. Even bought a stereo system there for my car once. But there was always rows and rows of CDs of, well, probably cassettes back then too, actually. Yeah, cassettes and 8-tracks probably. Sorry to date myself here. And rows and rows of albums of Mexican music. And they'd be blasting this stuff. All right, got that on there. Let me go ahead and grab the hood. Whoever had this car before me was generous enough to leave all the bolts intact. All right, do 2 on this side, 2 on this side. See if I can do this without wrenching my back. Perfect. Let me just get one of these started. Got it. First one's always the hardest. This hinge is a little mangled here. So they both kind of are. Okay, well, that was interesting. All right, got the 3 of the 4 bolts in. Let me put the 4th one in here. Alrighty, got a hood again. Let me show you an easy trick to get the hood springs off of these things using just a wrench and without taking your eyeball out. Just hook it on there, keep your arm straight. You don't want to use your levers like this. You just lean into it or lean against it. Boom, just like that. So now I should be able to close the hood. Okay, it's hitting the fender here. This fender is all sorts of messed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put the spring on there just for now. That should hold it in place there a little bit. I'll adjust the fender. I guess I could have done that easy enough without it. But first thing you want to do is align the fender, the hood. First thing I like to do, get the hood aligned. These hinges are tweaked, unfortunately. Just come over this way quite a bit. I like to align the hood to the cowl here. Well, like I said, these hinges are a bit on the tweaked side. Between being tweaked and everything's just kind of loose, it doesn't want to sit in the right spot. So I'll go ahead and tighten these hinges up, kind of see where we land, and then we can make minor adjustments from there. It's actually not too bad right there. Could be better. Still needs to go over that way just a smidge. Let me grab some lubrication. All right, got me some good old PB blaster here. See, I'm running low on this stuff. Okay. Lastly, I need to figure out why this thing's all gummed up here. Hopefully without dripping all over me. Okay. So the hood needs to go that way a little bit. So let me see what I can do here. Okay, so it's not too bad. Like I said, it still needs to go over that way a little bit. I'm trying to push it over. I still have some adjustment in the hinges itself, but we're almost there. So let me put a spring back in here. Okay. So the hood needs to go that way, so I'm going to move this hinge this way. These hinges are so tweaked, man. Wow, there it goes. Ah, it's good. The alignment to the cowl is good. Just need to adjust fore and aft. All right, now I don't want to spend hours and hours perfecting this thing because it's gonna have to come off again for paint body and it's probably some new hinges and repair this piece up here, but I want to get at least close. Come up a little bit on this side and come down just a little bit on this side. However, I think I'm just gonna leave it how she is. You know, let me can never leave things alone. Okay, let me see if I can get this up a little bit here. I don't know if you can hear the little Titan 12 turn. Son's over there in the background playing with his little RC car. As he should be. Let's see what that does. See if I made it worse or better. Oh, look at that. Pretty good. Gap here actually isn't too far off either. Now this one needs to go down a little bit. That one needs to go up. This one needs to go down. So let's see if I can. Oops. See if I can knock that one down a little bit. This one I can use my power tool here. Okay. Yeah, one finger. This still needs to go down. Didn't really make much of a dent here.
this. Like driving down the road.
Ask your sister. Maybe she'll take the dog and you can take your RC car.
The dog is scared of the RC car so much.
Well, it'd make the walk more interesting then, wouldn't it? Yeah, this is still proud, isn't it?
Also, the Stampede sounds like it's turbocharged when it's on the sidewalk. It makes a funny noise.
Hood gap's okay to the fender now, but this is still high, so let's drop it down some more, see if I can. Yeah, one finger. It's actually not too shabby, to be quite honest with you. All things considered. Let's see if we can go down a little bit more, just because I'm really anal about that stuff. Ooh, not too much. All right. Ah, that'll work. Gap is just a hair wider there, it looks like. And it's about the same on the finger gauge here. I'm gonna call that good enough. Let me just snug these up. Hood's done for now. Just gotta get some nuts and bolts, put those in later. Boom. Beautiful. How do you like them apples? These things have an alarm. Little button here. One in the trunk too. I suspect that may be what that's for. I don't know. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to get this latch working properly. And then I'll go to the other fender here. I'm gonna start with the hood. All right, we gotta see if we can figure this out here. This is supposed to spring back automatically. It's a safety catch, just like I did there. Like that, but it needs to get down to the bottom latch here. The hood is actually already down where it needs to be to latch, but it's obviously not anywhere close to latching. So I think I need to somehow drop this down, which I think is 9/16, half inch, 9/16, half inch. All right. Let's see if this will come down at all. We got some room here, I can see it. There we go. Alrighty. It is all the way down, so let's leave it there. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Alright, so this thing is, like I said, this thing is all the way down. Start there, and then we can always sneak up on it. Oh, didn't like that at all. I wonder if this latch is just shot. You know what? Actually, no, it's not shot. This whole thing needs to come over. Can't come over though. Ah, there we go. Sweet. Okay, I want to line the post. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, look at that. This thing is dead. No bueno. Missing a spring. Huh, actually it latched. What holds this down? Nothing. So I'm gonna do this. Oh shoot, actually, it's working. It just doesn't have the spring to pull this back. But just going down the bar here on the striker seems to be working okay. All right, trying to get you in close here. There's supposed to be a spring right here that keeps this piece back here. So that way, when the latch hits the striker, hits this point right here, it makes this lock into position like so. And this is obviously supposed to spring that way, which allows this to lock into place until you hit the release mechanism, and then it releases it out that way. But this is supposed to spring back that way. Yeah, so the striker hits this piece right here, goes like that, and locks into place. But it does not lock when this piece is stuck out here, because it thinks you're pushing on a lever. So, as long as this piece here, as long as this piece right here comes out, boom, locked and latched. All right, that'll get a guy home. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and try to straighten this out a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just put some more lubricant in here. Yeah, put some lubricant in here, work it back and forth a few times, and then I think we should be in business. Boom. All right, so what I want to do is I want to get this fender lined properly, but I got to fix the door first. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this fender off, I think, at least partially, just enough to get to, this door's almost coming off anyway, isn't it? Fender's just hanging on there by a few bolts, but I don't want to tear the wiring to the headlight. Let's start with taking the headlight harness off. Looks like it's just plugged in right here. Alrighty. Bam. Okay. I think I can get this off without taking the bumper off. I don't know, let's see. Oh yeah, might help if I take the bolts out. What is hanging up on this thing? Oh, it's literally just... What? I forgot, this thing also has a side marker light. No, it does not, because this is a 67 fender. Interesting. All right, what is holding on to this thing? Alrighty, got the fender off of there. Okay, fender's actually in good shape. I could say the same for the bumper. So look in here, all this old seam sealer garbage just flaking off. That's okay, don't mind that. But there's no rot in here at all. However, it does have a little collision damage here on the hinge. This hinge post needs to be pulled out just a little bit. And these bolts are all loose, and they're missing 2 bolts. 2 door hinge bolts on the door itself, 1 on the pillar. So let me see if I can find some more bolts. That needs to be hung back on there, because this thing is just doing that. So let me get some bolts. I'll be right back. All right, somebody already came through here and rebuilt the suspension on it. Also got disc brakes. However, it's not completely assembled. Got the parts inside the storage box here. But looking at the A-pillar here, we're missing a few bolts. No big deal. It's got some extras here. A lot of this seam sealer is flaking off, but look how clean that metal is. There's like no rust at all or anything, so it's pretty good. The only issue is this has been in a little bit of a bumper car incident here. This has been pushed in, but this could easily be pulled out. I just don't have the equipment on site here to do that just yet. I've got the tie downs on the floor, but I don't have the hydraulic unit to actually pull on it. You could probably make something work. But let me see if I can get the door adjusted the way it is. Then we'll be in good shape. Otherwise, you know, this might just be in a little bit because of this, or it may not. You know, it might bind up here on the hinge where it's might be touching here because it's kind of over closing essentially the hinge. So we'll see what we have to work with there. I could probably use a new lower hinge, but this needs to be pulled out and fixed as well. So let's see what we can do with the door. I mean, this is sticking way out here, and then we get the door aligned to the rocker and to the quarter panel, get it opening and closing correctly. Then we'll be in business, get the fender back on there, get it aligned, and move on to the next step. I'm gonna start by putting these bolts in here. Hopefully these are the right size. They came out of the other 68 door, so I imagine they should fit in here. I don't know what's going on here. Well, let me do a couple things first. Let me open this up. Try to roll this window down. Wow, rolls down real nice and easy. Okay, that'll get that out of the way here. Now this is doing all sorts of things, so put that on the latch. At least it's close. Okay, go ahead and loosen these up a little bit. So I can get one of these to start here. That's no good. All right, so there's actually two different styles of these bolts. The tips are different, and it actually prevents the bolts from actually going in. So I'm gonna go with two on each side here. Okay, let's see here. The holes line up. It does not look right at all. Where's the part that this rides on? Oh, that's not even the right hinge. That's not even the right hinge. I mean, it fits the door, and it fits the car. But it ain't right at all. Oh, okay, the piece is sheared off here. Now I can see. Okay, so this is cast iron hinge. The one on the other side is a stamped steel hinge. Let's go take a look at a couple other cars. All right, look at the passenger side here. This is the 68 style hinge. It's a stamped steel. It's got that weird S-shaped spring on there with the two rollers. Or this is the cast iron earlier version. This is probably the 67 style. Let me go check my 67 Mustang, see what it looks like. Because I know that's a 67 door and that's a 67 fender up there. These things obviously have been hit before and those panels replaced at one point. Yeah, that's nice. That one fits real beautiful. All right, I got my 67 Mustang here. So I got rained on here. Kind of dirty. Let's take a look here. Yep, it's got the cast iron style. This is a 67 hinge. So, but this is actually a 68 door. This one's been changed out too at one point. Because the VIN tag, they never changed it over. It's got a 68 VIN tag on there. So anyway, so let me see if I have another 68 hinge instead of the 67 hinge. All right, here's the 68. It's in the shop getting painted. You can see it's got the stamp steel hinges on there too. We just bought new ones, so hopefully I still have the ones that came off this car. I think I see them. Oh, perfect. Sweet. Alrighty. Alright, one of these should work. These should be correct for the 68. Gotta figure out which side I need here. This is the body side. Because it was the one that had the broken spring. Well, this one's completely sheared off the pin. So, but as long as we can get it to open and close and align correctly, I think this is going to be better for us. But don't know, we'll see. Okay, well, I guess we do have the spring. Huh. Alright, well, for the heck of it, I'm just going to take all three of them. Alright, let's see here. This is supposed to be the hinge here. Let me show you the difference between the early and the late bolts. See the tip on those? It's like it's as wide as the threads. I don't know how that actually goes in, but it doesn't fit these, even though it's the same thread size. And I don't get it. But anyway, those fit the other doors. Can't get my socket on there for now, so I'm going to set it up here. I'm sure I have some other bolts in the garage that I can use to finish this installation. I'm going to be able to adjust it without it flopping around too much. In, out, up, down. Okay. Boom. Okay. Let me get this somewhat lined up here. Let's go ahead and spray this down a little bit. Alright, so I had to go in here and pull the little metal plate into position. Hope it doesn't fall back into the car. Ugh. Yeah, I got it. Cool. This is sticking way the heck out. I don't know why. Well, let me take these. Take these bolts out. Is because of that? Oh, okay. Alright, so I think what's happening here is this little buckle right here that's keeping the door from closing in all the way. So I'm going to see if I can persuade that to go in a little bit. So this will need some loving when it goes to paint, but it's actually a pretty easy repair. Since everything is available for this car. I mean everything. Oh, look what I found. What is this? This is Reading Railroad. That's funny. Yeah, there's the other half of it, Monopoly. Alright, okay, that's a little bit smoother now. There's actually room here to get to the back side. A guy could pound that out. But I'm not sure if I'm going that deep just yet. Just want to get the door to close properly to make it home. Or so he can make it home. I'm not driving this thing. Oh, look at that. Considerably better. Okay. trick though is getting the hinge to actually fit with that, with this thing being all wonky here. But that's way closer. I'm a lot happier with that. Maybe I'll raise the door a little bit and get close a little further. Let's see if I can get one of these. Get one of these bolts started here. Does not want to cooperate here. Oh, okay. There it is. Get those lined up. All right, trying to get the top bolt here. I can't get the impact on there because this thing's in my way. But I can at least get that done there. All right. This line here, the edge of the rocker, is a good reference point for the edge of the front of the door. You need to be able to get it in line, preferably here. Although the line on the back of the door to the quarter is better, more important. But obviously we still need to get it in some more. So I think the door is hanging. So I need to raise the door up. And get it in a little bit more, maybe? I don't know. Okay, the door's latched on the back. All right, well, it's definitely an improvement. However, I think with this hinge pillar where it's at, I think the whole pillar face is this way, so it's kicking the back side of the hinge out and pulling the front side of the hinge in. I got the door lined up as good as it's going to get for now. It does catch a little bit on the striker because the door's a little too far forward. But you know what? Yeah, let me fix that gap a little bit. I don't like that. Let me move the top hinge back a little bit, but then the door sags, so I got to move the bottom hinge back a little bit, and that'll hopefully bring it back up. So let's try that. Got the door aligned as good as it's gonna get, but it's not hanging off the hinges anymore. Nice and easy close. Boom. And on the inside, where's the handle here? Just easy open and close. Now until this A-pillar gets repaired, it's gonna have this gap here, unfortunately. It could be in the door a little bit. I don't know, maybe, probably not. But this is all buggered up, so that'll need to get addressed. But like I said, pretty straightforward repair. All the stuff's available. And you can get to everything, and there's no rust, which is awesome. So a good clean weld, or good clean metal to weld to. All right, let's get the fender on here. All right, so these Mustangs have a hidden bolt here that you get through when you open the door. So the fender bolts across the top, of course, and there's one on the bottom. If this was a 65 or 6, there'd be one right in here somewhere that you get to through the kick panel. This one doesn't have it, so. This is a 67 fender, you can tell because there's no side marker light. Alrighty. That's not how you install them when they're freshly painted, just FYI. Alrighty. Let's get a couple bolts in here started so the thing don't fall off on me. I think we're gonna have serious alignment issues with this door to fender gaps here, regardless of how this goes together. I think I need to massage this a little bit up in here. Might have to take the fender off to do that though. Let me show you what the other one's doing. Well, showing this fender, you can see this piece right here is up against this on the other side. Where this is like way back here. On the other fender, it's up against the apron, which is right here. It's actually up against right here. So I think this whole apron needs to come forward. Because I think it got punched in the nose here. This needs to be pulled. This is all dented through here. Or just replace this panel. I think we're fine in the back. I think it's just the nose here. The frame rail itself looks really good, really solid and straight, which is good. Yeah, so probably just this core support and front aprons, which is very, very, very common on these cars. But you know, we got solid rails here. Let's give that a shot. A little bit, it was leaning back, so let's see if that fits now. Let's get this fender on here real quick. Tricky sneaking it in here, but okay, we've got a gap here now, so we can actually open the door. Sometimes your holes don't line up, so I like to use a long pick like this to try to help keep everything together here. Remove the little fitting inside there, little J-nut. All right, got the gap here, good. Let's close the hood and kind of see where we're at. Alrighty. Just need to pull this out just a little bit. Let's get the gap somewhat okay. Looks okay on both sides. And lock it down right there. That one's already locked down. Bam, look at that. We have a front end. Sweet. Should be a little brace, I think, but that is MIA. Might be in the box, so. Oh. Okay. The door and the fender is as good as going to get until the structural part of the repairs are done. But the guy can get in and drive it, get in and out. Not rubbing there. So I have the gap perfect here with the fender. You can see it's wide here, gets narrow up to the front. Because when I have the fender in where it needs to be, it sits below the door, not below the door, but it sits in further than the door. And then when you go to open the door, it would just catch right there. So I had to push the fender out a little bit to be more flush with the door, at least on the top side. And then kind of shove this forward a little bit and lock this bolt down to bring that out. So that way I have adequate clearance. So the door does not bind on the fender. So once the door is off, take the fender off, repair the hinge pillar. Everything should go back on perfect. Gotta find a little screw for this little guy. But I know you guys haven't really seen this car much, but 68 Mustang coupe, 67 door, but that's okay. We got full instrumentation. Got a padded dash, horn ring, such as it is. It is in automatic. Glove box. Headliner's actually in, yeah, other than the back in there in the corner, actually headliner's in pretty dang good shape, surprisingly. Oh, that's cool. No front seats. It's got a back seat, but no back glass. It's actually got the shoulder belts, which is, I just actually didn't notice that till just now. So it's got the shoulder belts that get locked up. You can see that, that chrome hook up there. That's where they attach when you're not using them. I really like the fact that it's got the shoulder belts in there, because then you can actually, you know, strap yourself in. 3-point, you know, in the event of an unfortunate incident. So anywho, I think we're in good shape for now. Once he arrives, we'll get the seats in, maybe some seat belts. I think I have some seat belts we can throw in there for him. Yeah, and then that'll be it for the interior, I think. And I do not have that door panel, unfortunately. Just have the passenger side. Boy, this door opens and closes nice now. The hinges were all loose, and so when you opened it, it would just hang down. So got that fixed for him. Was upgraded to 5 lug, the 8-inch rear end. Do not know what gear. Of course, like I showed before, it's got the 5 lug disc brakes up front. All the hardware's inside the shop. Trunk's in good shape. I think that, I'm not sure, but I think the gas tank was gone through, replaced, cleaned up, restored, whatever you want to call it. Gas tank should be tip-top shape. Maybe they just painted the top, I don't know. Have to look underneath. Let's go check real quick. Yeah, it's painted. So I think they had it out, probably had it cleaned. Had new shocks put on it, all new brakes in the back. We'll look a little closer once we get into the shop. But yeah, all that stuff was done, getting this thing prepared to paint it and take it down the road. This door opens and closes perfectly. Everything's still intact. All right, let's show you under the hood one more time. Then we'll get this thing under wraps. When he gets here, it'll be like a little unveiling. There's the little 289, or 302 actually. Steering, a bunch of wiring mess. Starter solenoid. This from the starter needs to go here. Or this one. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Need to figure out pulleys too. Got a water pump and everything for it inside the garage. Good there. And we need a radiator, huh? Okay. We'll have to figure something out. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. The next episode, you'll see who comes and picks this up. And he'll be driving it home. Like I said, I don't know how many thousands of miles, but should be fun. See you on the next one. Oops. Just lost my little microphone here.